Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Real Housewives of Atlanta OG NeNe Leakes is getting real about her opinions on some of her fellow Bravolebrities. And she isn't holding back on how she feels about Shereé Whitfield, Kenya Moore and Cynthia Bailey. From suggesting that Shereé is dull to speculating that Cynthia played a part in getting her booted, NeNe went in. NeNe's commentary came during the first part of her sit-down on Carlos King's reality with the King podcast, and she started by going in on Shereé. After reminiscing about some old drama, NeNe pushed back against Whitfield being described as the last standing OG, as she declared there was nowhere else to go. I don't about last standing, she is the last one they could get on the show. There was nowhere else to go. The people who were the stars of the show were literally me and Zim Zolciak. NeNe went on to say that while Shereé played her part, she doesn't think the network valued her. I think Shereé played her role or played her part in the show. I just don't think the network of the production really valued her that much. They felt like we don't really need her that much. NeNe added, I mean, she is not the most exciting person in the world. Staying on the subject of the early days of RHOA, NeNe remarked that she was essentially the underdog of season 1 and many of her fellow OGs banked on the idea that viewers wouldn't like NeNe. However, it just didn't work like that. First season, I was the underdog. I wasn't sure if I would be liked. I think Shereé, along with Kim and the rest of the girls, thought, oh please, they are gonna love us and they are not gonna like her. And it just didn't work like that. Shereé wasn't the only popular RHOA star who was the target of Miss NeNe Leakes' shade, as Kenya got it too. NeNe stated that the show began to change once Kenya came on in season 5, as it started to be let's create a storyline. To emphasize this point about Kenya's impact, NeNe declared people started to create storylines and pretend to have boyfriends. Nonetheless, after Carlos later declares that Kenya and Portia Williams saved the show after joining in season 5, NeNe confirms they were great additions. However, she was sure to note that she never saw Kenya as the star of RHOA. Kenya is great on the show and she was a great addition to the show when she came on. And I think the show needs Kenya, by the way. But I never saw her as the star of Real Housewives of Atlanta ever. Finally, NeNe also honed in on Miss Cynthia Bailey, noting that she initially didn't think that Cynthia was housewife material. While she commented similarly about Feathery Parks, she didn't go in like she did with Cynthia. Although NeNe Leakes declared she misses their sisterly friendship, she doubts they'll ever reconcile. I just know some of the things that she has done behind the scenes that I could just never ever respect. After being prompted to give further detail, NeNe accused Cynthia of attempting to interfere with her Bravo bag. She was definitely trying to stop my bag from Bravo. I know a lot of things she did. She was in an alliance with Housewives and behind the scenes with producers and the network. I think she had a hand in trying to get me fired. Thanks for listening and please don't forget to subscribe my channel.